Now, this decision was long overdue. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a federal judge who has blocked certain Biden officials and also certain alphabet letter organizations from contacting social media about certain matters of protected speech. Now, what does that mean, ABL? Great question. Glad you asked. The Biden administration and certain agencies like, I don't know, the FBI, etc., they cannot call, let's say, a Twitter and say, hey, you know that post you have about Hunter Biden and the laptop? Well, that's not really been verified by us. And we got a bunch of guys that signed a letter and said that it's false. Like 51 guys say it's false. Yeah, so you know what? Go ahead and delete that. That right there can no longer happen from what I'm reading right here in the decision. Now, remember this, as I was saying about the feds calling certain agencies, it wasn't just Twitter, it wasn't just Google, it wasn't just Facebook, it was everybody. Okay, that was the main thing that was going on, and that, from what I'm able to see, cannot happen anymore. Now, let's get into the article to get more details. Of course, this article will be in the description box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. You see what's happening right here. Federal judge limits Biden officials' contacts with social media sites. The order came in a lawsuit filed by the attorneys general of Missouri and Louisiana, who claimed the administration is trying to silence its critics. 100%. 100%. And social media is the new frontier. If you're able to control that, then you're able to control the masses of people. And what they have been doing by calling these social media companies is just not right. Mark Zuckerberg, one of the richest guys in the world, you still be holding to the USA's laws. Imagine getting a call from the federales like, yo, Mark, we got some things going on. I need you to go ahead and delete that Hunter Biden video and punish anybody who doesn't understand you can't post that anymore. Restrict their account. You see, they're starting to become like the Chinese Communist Party, but I'm getting way ahead of myself, so I digress. Let's get into the article. A federal court in Louisiana on Tuesday barred parts of the Biden administration from communicating with social media platforms about broad swaths of content online, a ruling that could curtail efforts to combat false and misleading narratives about the C virus and other issues. Now, you see what I'm talking about? See, this article, I read New York Times and stuff like that to point out how a lot of what they say is misinformation. They're talking about misinformation. They spread that on their particular platform as well, in my humble opinion, okay? But I read from here to show you guys what they do. And there are plenty of things the government said at one point that we now know are not true. So maybe they shouldn't be in the business of trying to control opinions and narratives. Let us have our opinion. Let us share information. Now, if you want to throw your 2 cents out there, having a press conference and say what you think, then that's fine. But don't try to control us and what we consume and what we think and how we're able to talk to one another. All right. Anyway, in the ruling, Judge Terry A. Doughty of the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Louisiana said that parts of the government, including the Department of Health and Human Services and the federales, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, could not talk to social media companies for the purpose of urging, encouraging, pressuring, or inducing in any manner the removal, deletion, suppression, or reduction of content containing protected free speech. Boom. Shout out to you guys making that happen. Boom. Listen, you see what I'm doing right now when I say, hey, in my humble opinion, this, that, and the third. You can't tell me that that's not free speech. I have the right to my opinion, 100%. But then when that's curtailed, now we got a problem. Oh, how about this, though? Freedom of speech should also be freedom of press. Hey, we have documented evidence. We have reports. Why can't I post that? If New York Post posts a thing on their website, why can't I post that on social media? Why would the federales call Twitter and tell them to delete it? They shouldn't be able to do that. That should also be considered free speech. freedom of the press. You know, it's weird because the left talk about the right want to suppress the press because we say things like CNN sucks, all this, that, and the third. We'll say CNN sucks, but we're not trying to get them removed from the air. We're not trying to have them blocked. It's like, yo, you have your particular opinion. We have ours. All right. We say you guys over there suck. You're spreading nonsense and propaganda. But hey, we're going to have our platforms and our point of view to counteract that narrative. Right. Let's continue here in the article. And again, I will link to everything in the description. Judge Doughty said in granting a preliminary injunction that the agencies could not flag specific posts to social media platforms or request reports about their efforts to take down content. The ruling said that the government could still notify the platforms about posts detailing crimes, national security threats, or foreign attempts to influence elections. Of course, yeah, okay. Now, the last part about election interference, that could be kind of murky, but we're talking about criminal activities, criminality going on the platform. That's different. Okay, when you're talking about child trafficking, okay, obviously we're talking about crimes. Yeah, let's go ahead and get that out the way. But just sharing news reports, okay, I'm posting an article from New York Times. Let's say I post this article right here and the government doesn't like it too much. So they're going to call Twitter and be like, hey, tell Anthony B. Logan to go ahead and remove that. Matter of fact, ban his account. There's actual lists that the government had, allegedly, from what I was able to read, of blacklisted people. The government has this list. So what if the government calls Twitter and says, hey, put these guys on the list, reduce their posts, reduce visibility because they posted X, Y, and Z. They posted an article about misinformation from the virus, all kind of stuff. This is a really big decision because let me tell you something right now. I had an article go viral on my website about the virus. Like, it might have been right in 2020. It went viral on my website. It went so viral, my website host called me on the phone and got into a meeting. It wasn't anything negative. They were just trying to figure out a way to not have the website crash and to not have the entire server crash. I think they said the whole shared server crash. I forget exactly what they were talking about, but basically my website was crashing. It didn't work. My article went so viral. And after the article went viral and made a lot of money on it, Google went and restricted my whole website because they're saying, oh, misinformation on this, that, and the third. Now, here's a question I have. Is that a Google policy or is that a federal government policy? Okay, we're going to tell you about the virus. We're going to have our particular parameters. And if you go beyond those parameters, then you're going to be punished. That's a question I have. I think this is going to open up a lot of freedom of the press, of journalists, of regular normies to report without having to worry about Big Brother over the shoulder. And when I say Big Brother, I don't mean Big Tech. I mean the federales. Let's continue here. The ruling was a victory for Republicans and other conservatives who have filed a series of lawsuits accusing the government of cajoling or coercing Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other social media companies to censor its critics. Although the ruling is likely to be appealed by the administration, its impact could be sweeping, forcing government officials, including law enforcement agencies, to refrain from notifying the platforms of troublesome content. See, this is gaslighting because it just said earlier that the ruling said that the government could still notify the platforms about posts detailing crimes, national security, foreign attempts to influence elections. Then they say, well, it might curtail their efforts to cut down on crime or troublesome content. What does troublesome mean? Does it mean illegal or potentially illegal? Or does it mean offensive? If you see a thing you don't like, you're going to get triggered and butt hurt and bust out crying, like what's really going on. But I digress. Government officials have argued they do not have the authority to order posts or entire accounts removed, which is a lie, because they will communicate with you. If the FBI is calling Mark Zuckerberg right when the Hunter Biden story drops, and they're talking about, hey man, you know, some things going on, Russian misinformation, it's some laptop stuff, it might have been stolen. If they're calling you talking like that, but they don't directly say, hey, delete that, you're reading between the lines. If the FBI calls you and they're kind of being funny with it, and you know what you got to do. And if you don't do it, you're going to have problems. You're going to be in court all year, every day of your life. You're going to have a bunch of different things that you don't want in your life. They may find some kind of crime to get you indicted on, lock you up. Shout out Donald Trump. Anyway, so the official said they can't order accounts be removed, whatever, but they have long cooperated with big tech to take action against illegal or harmful material. Okay, we're talking about, see, they're conflating different things in this article. Illegal material, things that you can get locked up for, that's something that nobody's going to defend, okay? Of course, get these guys out of there and get them locked up and use whatever you found on social media platforms as evidence in their case against them. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about when the government will call Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, well, Meta, they will call these companies and say, remove that content because we don't like it. Hunter Biden crack smoke videos, remove that, we don't like it. That's much different than some child sex trafficking, where you will obviously have that guy locked up under the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. Anyway, so there's no comment on it. And from anybody, Twitter, Google, Meta, no comment. But this is a win for free speech, not just for the right, not just for the left, but for free speech in general. This is a win. Now we're able to post news articles from reputable websites again. Okay, I can post that Hunter Biden smokes rocks with a picture, evidence right there. I can do that now without having the federales on my back, according to a federal judge. But as I close, I want to say this. This was a great ruling. I hope it stands and doesn't get reversed. It shouldn't get reversed, because why would the feds be calling Twitter talking about trying to curate the content? As I was saying from the beginning, this is becoming like the Chinese Communist Party, where if you have any kind of business like a TikTok, you're going to have a CCP person right on your board. This is the exact same thing. Rather than it being right there on your board, they're going to be right there in your ear, right there in your pocketbook, right there. They can determine your freedom. Oh, you don't want to play ball? You don't want to do what we say? You don't want to read between the lines? All right, well, catch this lawsuit. Catch this criminal penalty that didn't even exist until recently. Catch all these things to do against you to make your life a living hell. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here with the decision? You think it's right decision, bad decision, whatever your thoughts are? Let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is a great decision. This is a great day for America. And I want to see this kind of energy persist. Let's have social media be free and open. Illegal stuff, obviously not. That's much different, okay? I'm talking about, hey, there's a news story. You got reporters out there doing their due diligence to figure out the facts. Let's be able to share that. Hey, I think this could work for this particular virus. I have a home remedy. Hey, let me be able to share that, rather than the government coming in saying, oh, you can't share this and you can't share this and you can't share that, because in our opinion, it's not 100% right. In our opinion, it's not correct. Either it's legal or illegal. And last I checked, freedom of speech was 100% legal. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.